Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are going to get started this morning. So first of all, congratulations on your acceptance to Missouri S&T. My name is Jody Hazekamp, and I am the international recruiter from Missouri S&T.
My name is Hannah Helmick, and I am the manager of sponsored student services here at S&T. So I work with all students who are coming in who are receiving scholarships.
My name is Erica Bay. I'm a recruiter with the Office of Graduate Studies. If you have any questions about what's going to happen next, you can ask any of us to help you with those questions.
All right, so today during this webinar, we are just going to share some pre-departure information for students starting in spring semester 2018. So here are the pictures of Erica, Hannah, and I, along with our contact information. So throughout this webinar, feel free to ask any questions you have through the chat feature. We can try to answer them throughout the webinar. We'll also have plenty of time at the end to answer any questions that you have. And then, of course, you can see our email addresses on there. So feel free to send us an email if you have any questions come up after the webinar that we can help you with. So again, congratulations on your acceptance to Missouri S&T, one of the premier technological research universities in the U.S. We are so excited to welcome you to campus in January, and we're really looking forward to meeting you all after exchanging many emails. So this is just an overview of the agenda today. So we're going to start off by introducing you to the International and Cultural Affairs team who you've been working with to get your immigration documents. For anyone who hasn't got your I-20 yet or applied for your visa, we're going to go over the process for doing that. We're going to talk about important dates that you should know, share some information about your new home, Rolla, Missouri, discuss transportation options for you to come to Rolla, important things that you'll need to do after you arrive in Rolla, such as finding housing, doing your English testing, enrolling in classes. We'll also discuss what opportunity options are available to international students, employment options, and then we will introduce you to some international student organizations that could be a great resource for you in connecting with some of our current students.
Okay, so there are 5 immigration advisors here in our office, and they do several things. So probably some of you have been working with them to get your I-20s or DS-29s issued, but they also serve as a resource for you while you're here on campus to help answer any immigration questions that you have about your F/J visa status, how to remain in valid status, that kind of thing. So you'll work closely with them the whole time that you're here at S&T. If you take a look, you can see their names kind of underneath their pictures. We have Janelle, Shauna, and Justina. And depending on what your family name starts with, that's how it determines which immigration advisor you'll be working with. So for example, if your last name starts with a Z, you will be working with Justina Lewis. So you can see the alphabet groups kind of broken up below their email addresses. If you get confused or you forget and you don't remember who your immigration advisor is, you can always email ia@mst.edu, and you can see that now here on our screen, along with pictures of 2 other immigration advisors that we have. So Jean and Bill also work with students with the last name, family name starting with a W or a B. So feel free to email ia@mst.edu with any questions that you have about this kind of thing. Please note our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So Missouri is in kind of that central time zone in the United States. So if you call outside of those hours or you email outside of those hours, it may take us a little bit longer to get back with you. Okay, so some of you will already have your I-20s and DS-2019s issued, but for those of you that don't, there's a bit of a process to get that done. So you can see some steps here on the screen. The first thing you'll need to do is submit a financial statement. So for those of you who are going to be self-funded or your family's helping pay for your studies, that's probably going to be a bank statement. If you're a sponsored student and a government or a company is going to be supporting you for your studies, that will be a financial guarantee letter or a financial support letter, and I will work with you to make sure that that has all the information that we need on it. We'll also want copies of your passport and things like that. If you're transferring to S&T, we'll need a copy of your current I-20 or DS-2019 along with a transfer-in form that you should have received via email, and a copy of your current visa, that kind of thing. You'll arrange for shipment through the University Express mail service. You'll need to pay the SEVIS fee unless you're transferring your SEVIS record to us. You'll then kind of at that point, we'll mail you your I-20 or DS-2019, and then you'll need to schedule the visa interview appointment and pay the visa application fee. You want to go to your visa interview appointment, make sure that you know where S&T is in the United States, if you're kind of able to point to it on a map. Make sure that you know what your program of study is. If you have an English condition, make sure that you understand whether or not you'll be starting in English or university classes, that kind of thing, because they'll probably have questions for you about that. And then once your visa is approved, then you will just follow the instructions that the visa officer gives you for visa pickup and things like that. And then you'll be ready to travel to S&T. So here are some important dates that you'll want to keep in mind. According to immigration regulations, you can arrive in the United States up to 30 days prior to your program start date. So if you're wondering, about when to schedule your travel plans, you can do it any time up to 30 days prior to January 16th. Okay, so some important dates. January 8th is our new International Student Orientation. That's going to be a really good day to not only get some information about campus, but also to meet other students and start to kind of build a network here at S&T. You'll also want to be sure to attend the new Graduate Student Orientation, which if you have questions about that, Miss Erica can help answer those, and you can type those into the chat box. But that's January 12th on a Friday, and then classes start on January 16th.
Next, we will talk about where Missouri S&T is located. Rolla is in the state of Missouri. It is in the Midwest region of the United States, and its central location makes it ideal for traveling throughout the country on breaks. The population of Rolla is approximately 20,000 people. It is a welcoming community that is very safe and friendly. Missouri has 4 distinct seasons. The weather in the winter is cold, with an average temperature of 4 degrees Celsius and possible snow. Summers can be hot and humid, with an average temperature of 32 degrees Celsius. And our springs and falls are very mild and beautiful. Rolla is located about 160 kilometers from St. Louis, which is the largest city in Missouri. The city slogan of Rolla is "A city engineered for everyone." This is because no matter what your interests are, you can find something you enjoy about Rolla. The residents of Rolla often enjoy hobbies that take advantage of the beautiful outdoors of this area, such as camping, hiking, and fishing. There are many benefits to living in Rolla. Our international students like Rolla because it is a very friendly community that embraces international cultures. Another key benefit is that Rolla is a safe place with low crime. Our international students grow to love Rolla as their second home. The most convenient airport for Rolla is St. Louis Lambert Airport, which is airport code STL. Rolla is an approximate 2-hour drive from the St. Louis Airport. Because of this, you will want to be sure to arrange transportation from the airport to Rolla before you arrive. USA Express is a local shuttle company who you can book a ride with. You can email ia@mst.edu for directions on how to book a shuttle. If you are sponsored students, please email iass@mst.edu to arrange your shuttle. Other options, of course, include to have a friend pick you up. Please note that if your flight lands late at night, you may need to get a hotel in St. Louis for the evening. You may also need to book a hotel in Rolla for your first few nights if you don't have a place to stay. Our current international students can be a great resource for helping you plan your trip to Rolla.
So after you arrive in Rolla, one of the first things that you're going to need to do is come check in at the Office of International and Cultural Affairs. So you'll remember our office is located in 103 Norwood Hall. We open at 8 a.m. and close at 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. So if you arrive on a Saturday or Sunday, just wait until Monday to come. You can also check in with us at International Orientation if that's the first time that you're able to come to our office. That's no problem. When you come, you'll want to bring your I-20 or DS 2019, a copy of your passport and a copy of your I-94. Another important thing that you'll do after you arrive on campus is you'll need to get your university ID card made. So when you check in with our office, we can give you instructions on how to do that, along with activating your university email address. Once you arrive on campus, your professors, our office, Office of Graduate Studies, everyone on campus is going to start communicating with you through your university email address, not your personal email address. So it's really important that you get that set up and start checking it regularly. You can also open a bank account at one of the local banks here in Rolla and look for housing options. Housing is also always an important thing that students are concerned about. So we do have on-campus housing. If you're interested in that, you can contact Residential Life to see what those options are. Most of our graduate students do not live on campus, though. We don't have designated graduate student housing, so most of the students who live on campus are undergraduates. And then our graduate students typically rent an apartment close to campus, but not actually on campus. There's some local real estate companies that offer rental properties. I've listed a couple there: Investment Realty, Brown Realty, Frew Investment. There's a couple other in Rolla as well. What I would recommend is you go online and look at those websites and see what housing options are available, what apartments are available to rent. And then once you arrive on campus, then you can set up appointments and actually go and look at the apartments and decide which one will be the best fit for you. There are plenty of apartments that are within walking distance to campus. So if you're not planning on purchasing a car, you can definitely find housing that's close to campus. Another option is to contact a student organization for housing advice. As Erica mentioned, our current students can be really great resources. Sometimes we have students who are graduating and their roommates might be looking for an extra person to fill a room in their house. Sometimes current organizations can help new students connect and help you find roommates. So that can be a really helpful resource for you. Budget-wise, rent can vary from about $450 to $700 per month, but can also be split amongst roommates. So one great thing about Rolla is the cost of living is quite reasonable here. So that's one good thing that we have going for us. And you'll also want to be sure that you read and understand your lease before signing it. So if you're getting an off-campus apartment, you'll be required to sign a lease that kind of outlines all the terms and regulations that you're responsible for. So be sure to read that carefully and understand and ask any questions that you have, because that is a legal binding document. If you have been admitted to S&T based on your academic record, but you have not provided proof of meeting the English requirement, such as a TOEFL or IELTS score, you will be required to complete English proficiency testing upon arriving at Missouri S&T, and that'll be administered by the Intensive English Program staff. So after you arrive on campus and get checked in, we're going to have a special day for students who need to do the English testing. You should be able to know if you need to do English testing by looking at your I-20 or DS 2019. If you've met the English requirement, then you'll receive an immigration document for academic purposes. If you're issued English I-20 or DS 2019, then you'll need to do English testing once you arrive on campus. Based on that English testing, then the IEP staff will determine if you are prepared to start academic courses or if you need to take some English classes in our intensive English program to improve your English before starting academic classes. So of course you'll need to get enrolled in classes once you arrive on campus. So you won't be able to enroll in classes before you come to campus. You must arrive first. So graduate students will need to schedule an appointment with your academic advisor after you arrive on campus. If you haven't been assigned an advisor yet or you're not sure who that is, you can go visit your academic department and they can let you know who your advisor will be. An important thing to remember for international students, part of your immigration requirement for remaining in valid status is you must be full-time enrolled. So for graduate students, that's 9 credit hours. So when you're choosing your classes, be sure that you are full-time enrolled in 9 credit hours. So next we're going to talk about some employment options for international students. So as an international student, you can work up to 20 hours per week while school is in session through on-campus employment. That means that you can get a job at the library on campus or through the dining hall on campus, or if you are maybe have a teaching assistantship or research assistantship through your department, that would be limited to 20 hours per week, and you can only work on campus as an international student. So for example, you could not get a job at a coffee shop in the city of Rolla. That would not be within your visa requirements. You also have the option of doing optional practical training, OPT, during your educational career. And then there's curricular practical training, CPT, which you can participate upon completion of your degree. This is where you would work for a company within your field of study. Our international advisors, they can provide more information for you once you arrive on campus if you're interested in either one of these options. We have an online training, and then the advisors there are help to coach you through the paperwork process and answer any questions you might have about OPT or CPT. So one of the points of pride of Missouri S&T is the career success that we have for our graduates. So we had over 1,000 companies come to recruit our students on campus in fall 2016, and as a result, there were over 3,800 on-campus interviews. So as a student at Missouri S&T, you're going to have the opportunity to network with top-tier corporations and be able to explore a lot of great career opportunities. The average starting salary at commencement for our graduate students is over $76,000. So this alone shows what a great investment Missouri S&T is into your future career and future career goals.
So there are over 200 student organizations here at S&T, and that includes 12 international and intercultural organizations. So you can see a list of some of the international student clubs that we have kind of on the right-hand side of your screen. And these organizations are really active. They put on all kinds of events for not just S&T, but the whole city of Rolla every year. So they're really, really fantastic. Some of our biggest events are Diwali. We have a Saturday night that's really, really big, Spring Festival, things like that. So these events are really, really popular, and we really encourage you to get connected with some of these organizations because it's so amazing for the city of Rolla to be able to learn about all these different cultures. So it's really a service that you're providing to campus and to the community. So we absolutely love that. You can go ahead and, excuse me, you can go ahead and get in touch with some of those organizations if you take a look at the S&T website, or if you just email ia@mst.edu, we can help you connect with the organization so that you can already be in communication with them before you even come to campus. We also have our Celebration of Nations event every year in September. It is one of my favorite days of the year because it's basically a giant party with lots of awesome food. And so we have a parade, which is where a lot of our international students will wear traditional clothes and carry the flag of their home country and kind of walk downtown here in Rolla to kind of showcase their culture. They do different things in the parade, so you can see the dragons here in the main picture that our Chinese Student and Scholar Association usually takes in the parade. And then there is a show where students can show off their talents, whether that's singing or dancing or reading poetry or whatever it is. We have a show there, and then of course we have a festival area with lots of food, and a lot of the international student organizations will have a booth there and make something awesome to sell and make money for their organization. So it's a really, really amazing event. We encourage students to bring traditional clothes with them so that if they want to wear them at the Celebration of Nations event, they'll have them, they'll already have them here. So if you are thinking about packing, maybe put some of those in your suitcase too.
All right, so that is all of the information that we have prepared for you guys. At this time, we'd like to open the floor up to you and answer any questions that you may have. So if you see down in your chat box, if you could just type in any questions for Hannah, Erica, and I, and we will be happy to answer them. So don't be shy.
One question that a lot of students ask me before they arrive is if all of the classes will be full for them by the time that they come to campus and meet with their advisor and register in classes. And one thing that I would mention about that is that you will, especially as new students coming in, the chances of you not being able to find something, you know, that a class that you need that's open for your degree is, I've never seen that happen before. So your advisor will work with you to make sure that you're in classes that you need, that will meet your degree requirements. And if classes are full, professors can a lot of times make an exception and allow you into the class too if you're arriving a bit late. So, so don't worry too much about your ability to get registered for classes. You'll just want to work closely with your advisor once you arrive to get that done.
Another thing students are sometimes concerned about is, especially now, so the start of class is about a month away, plus a couple of weeks maybe, but it's getting a little bit down to the wire. So sometimes students are concerned if they haven't got their visa yet or their I-20 yet, whether they have enough time. So what I would recommend is that you go to the Department of State website and you can type in what city you'll be going for your visa interview, and they can give you estimated time on how long it takes to get an interview and what the wait time is for issuing documents. So that will help give you a better idea on if you have time, which at this point I think that most of you probably will have time, but if you need to defer or you need to arrive late, then we can walk you through that process.
So we just had a question come up regarding a student's financial statement. It sounds like when they went to the bank asked them about freezing the amount of money. So that isn't something that generally we ask to be noted on the financial statement at all. So we don't require that money is frozen for any specific amount of time. The financial statement basically says, you know, the student's name, the date, that kind of thing, and then the US dollar equivalent as far as how much money is in that account. So that isn't something that I would necessarily advise you to do, is like freeze your assets.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard of that either, but you could also maybe send an email to your international advisor who actually reviews the documents, and they could tell you specifically, but yeah, like Hannah said, we're not aware of that. So the other question was about possible vacation time for our office during December 16th through January 8th. At this time, there's no plan for our campus to be closed during that time, except for weekends, obviously. If we happen to have a change in schedule and, for example, possibly close maybe between the week of Christmas through New Year's at the end of December, we will send an email update. So, but we'll be sure to keep everyone posted on if our office hours happen to change. Same for graduate studies. Yeah.
That's a good question. It's a great time of year, lots of holidays for us. So very good question.
Does anyone have any other questions or anything else that we can help with? All right, well, oh, there we go.
So for the student who asked about the sponsored student shuttle, I can send you some more information via email, since that's a little bit specific. So I have noted your name, and I will send you an email about the shuttle for sponsored students. Great question, thank you.
All right, well, if no one has any other questions, we just want to thank you all for joining us today. Again, we're really looking forward to welcoming you all to campus. You can see all of our contact information is on this page as well, so feel free to maybe take a screenshot of that. Hopefully we've been in contact so you have our email addresses, but send us an email if anything else comes up, and we will see you in January. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.